Can you hear it? The Atlantic waves caressing the sun-drenched shores of Copacabana? Close your eyes. Imagine you're standing there, breathing in the vibrant, salt-kissed air of Brazil. You reach down and scoop up a handful of that fine golden sand, a handful that represents your deepest longings, your grandest ambitions, and everyone you hold dear. But then a sudden gust of wind sweeps by, and a primal fear of loss takes hold. Instinctively, you clench your fist. You pour every ounce of your will into holding on, squeezing those tiny grains as hard as you can. But look closely, as your knuckles turn white with tension, a cruel paradox begins to unfold. The sand doesn't stay. It leaks through your fingers, slipping away faster than ever, leaving your palms stinging and hollow. This is exactly how your life has been operating, and it's exhausting. The more you white-knuckle your career, the more you suffocate your relationships, or the more you obsessively force success to happen now, the further they retreat into the shadows. This desperate coercion is a poison. It kills your natural magnetism and your inner spark. The ancient Stoic masters and the most brilliant minds in history held a secret, a power as quiet as it is absolute, the art of relinquishing control. They weren't passive observers, they were silent warriors. They understood that to truly possess the world, you must first have the courage to open your hand. When you stop chasing destiny out of fear and frantic effort, the forces of the universe finally find a home in your heart. So, tell me, are you ready to lay down the weight of your ego and finally touch the realm of true abundance? There is a fleeting, sacred threshold, a narrow gateway, suspended between the fading light of day and the vast, dark ocean of deep sleep. It is a natural state of trance, where the sentinel of your logic finally lowers its guard, leaving an open path that leads straight into the treasure house of your subconscious. But I must warn you, this is a land of the most delicate vibrations. If you cross this threshold carrying the weight of heavy anxieties, unpaid bills, or the paralyzing fear of an uncertain future, you are, without realizing it, blueprinting a script of failure for your tomorrow. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between reality and fear. It simply executes the final commands you hand it before your eyes close. Look into the silent studio of the genius Salvador Dalí to understand this power. He would often sit in a plush armchair, dangling a heavy iron key directly over a tin plate on the floor. As the shadows of sleep began to pull him under, his body would go limp, the key would crash onto the plate with a resonant clang, and he would jerk awake. In that split second of suspension, he touched the source of his multi-million-dollar surreal masterpieces, the place where the wildest dreams are forged into reality. You don't need Dalí's key. All you need is wakeful surrender. Tonight, as your body begins to sink deep into the mattress, let go of the chains of your current reality. Whisper to yourself about your goals as if they are already a cold, hard fact. I am living in abundance, or I have conquered that mountain. This isn't a weak prayer. It is a direct order sent straight to the command center of the universe. When you drift into sleep in the state of a victor, the whole world wakes up to make that script your reality. Step into the world of an ancient Stoic archer, where the line between triumph and tragedy is as thin as a single hair. Picture him. As he stands there, the bowstring groans under the strain of raw, rippling muscle, every ounce of his focus converging on the arrow's tip. He controls the draw weight, the bedrock stability of his arm, and the piercing gaze aimed dead center at the bullseye. Yet, in the terrifying instant the arrow leaves his fingertips, a freezing truth descends. He is utterly powerless. A rogue gust of wind, a subtle pocket of air, either one can steal its trajectory. He has finished his work, the rest belongs to fate. This paradox is the secret key to unlocking true manifest power, a key very few people possess. Look at a temple of soccer in Brazil, the legendary Maracanã Stadium. A lone player stands at the penalty spot in the final seconds of stoppage time. A whole nation holds its breath. If his mind is poisoned by visions of a glittering gold cup, or the paralyzing dread of being criticized by millions, his legs will turn to lead and his heart will beat wildly out of control. The anxiety over the future result is the enemy that executes the present accuracy. But a Stoic warrior executes differently. He takes that deep breath, grounds himself against the grass beneath his feet, and focuses only on the mechanics of his strike, the only thing he truly controls. He gives everything he has in the moment of drawing the bow, and then, with absolute serenity, he releases his hand. When you stop clinging to the result, you unleash a pure, unadulterated flow of energy to execute with perfection. Don't let the fear of the destination cloud your vision. Love the process and let the universe worry about the final trajectory. Because when you dare to truly release your hand, That is the exact moment your arrow finds its target in the most miraculous way. Deep in the fractured, narrow alleys of a Rio favela, where the raw, thumping bass of funk music bounces off the concrete, where the shouts of neighbors clash with the screeching sirens from the highway below, there is a truth that very few ever see. Inside a small house, under a corrugated metal roof sweltering in the heat, a father sits. He is utterly still. He is hunched over a crude, hand-drawn blueprint of the home he dreams of building for his family. Around him is the absolute chaos of a brutal struggle for survival, yet his eyes reflect a different reality entirely, the reality of order, of unshakable resolve. He doesn't hear the noise. He is standing inside an inner citadel, a mental fortress that no external force can breach unless he opens the gate. The biggest mistake we make when we try to manifest is waiting. We wait for the perfect conditions. We wait for a quiet room, a distant vacation, or for that moment when all the bills are finally paid. But the universe? The universe doesn't work that way. True power doesn't come from silencing the world outside. It comes from keeping your mind unshakable, even when the ground beneath your feet is trembling. Understand this: silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of absolute focus. When you build this citadel, you become the eye of the hurricane, the one point of stillness while the world spins out of control. From that center of peace, your frequency is transmitted at its most powerful. Do not wait for the world to go quiet to find your relaxation. Go inside, close the door to your mind, and start building your new world right in the heart of the storm. Because here is the mystery: when you become the immovable center of the storm, the whole world has no choice but to adjust itself to your silence. Your mind is not a mere storage unit for memories. It is a vessel capable of traveling through space and time, a master key that unlocks realities that haven't even been born yet. Peer into the shadows of the Hollywood Hills, circa 1990. There, in a battered, rusted-out car, sits a broke young actor named Jim Carrey. He gazes down at the shimmering city lights below, wrapped in an eerie, profound stillness. His wallet is empty of large bills, yet he treasures a single scrap of paper, a self-written check for $10 million for acting services rendered. Carrey wasn't just daydreaming. Every single night, in a state of absolute, bone-deep relaxation, he allowed his mind to commute to the future. He didn't just see the numbers, he smelled the fresh ink on that check. He felt the coarse texture of the paper between his fingers. He heard the muffled whispers of an adoring audience. He tasted success so vividly that every cell in his body believed it had already happened. And 10 years later, almost to the day, the universe answered, with a $10 million contract for Dumb and Dumber. The secret to this power lies in breathtaking detail. When you drop into a state of deep surrender, the boundary between right now and what's next simply dissolves. Stop viewing your goals from the sidelines like a spectator. Step inside. Sink into the leather of that sofa in your dream home. Inhale the scent of freedom as it fills your lungs. The more vivid the image, the purer the vibration, and the easier it is for the universe to find your address among billions of souls. Let your mind go first to scout the territory, and reality will have no choice but to follow. Deep within the soul, there exists a primal force that Stoic warriors call Amor Fati, the love of fate. This is not some fragile, weak resignation to hardship. It is a passionate, defiant kiss to reality, even when that reality is crumbling beneath your feet. Because when you finally dare to love the cracks, you strip fear of its only weapon, resistance. Step into the midnight hour of an entrepreneur who has just watched his empire collapse into total bankruptcy. Amidst the ruins of a legacy he spent a lifetime building, instead of letting despair devour him, he sits. He takes a long, slow breath and he smiles into the silence. He doesn't ask, "Why me?" Instead, he whispers, "This is exactly the bitter medicine I need to wake up." In that state of absolute surrender in the eye of the storm, when his old arrogant ego has finally turned to ash, his eyes suddenly catch a glimpse of a narrow path he never noticed before. A hidden opportunity, sprouting from the very ruins of his past mistakes. The true secret of manifestation doesn't lie in begging the world to change to fit your whims. It is about turning every event, no matter how brutal, into the fuel for your success. When you view your scars through the lens of Kintsugi, the ancient art where molten gold is poured into the cracks to make a shattered vessel more precious than it ever was before, you reach the highest state of relaxation. You no longer have to white-knuckle your way through life. You stop fighting the current because you know that wherever the river takes you, that is exactly where your treasure is waiting. Love your fate. and fate will answer you with miracles hidden beneath the jagged edges of hardship. Listen to the heartbeat of the South American wilderness, where the mighty Amazon begins its 10,000-mile journey across a continent. Have you ever wondered how a force as soft as water can conquer towering peaks of unyielding stone? The secret isn't found in violent collision. It lies in the art of fluidity. When faced with ancient granite cliffs, the Amazon never wastes its energy trying to tear them down in a fit of useless rage. Instead, it observes. It seeks out the smallest cracks. It weaves through obstacles with a silent, unshakable persistence. And in the end, the river flows proudly into the vastness of the ocean, while the mountains remain behind, static, weathered, and unmoving. Control, for us, is a heavy burden that leaves us hollow and exhausted. We crave a rigid script for our lives, and when reality dares to drift off course, we lash out and tighten our grip. But understand this, the flow is not a sign of weak surrender. It is a sacred privilege reserved for the wisest among us. When you find yourself slamming into a brick wall in your career or stuck in a relationship with no clear answer, that is the universe reminding you, stop, take a step back. Sometimes accepting a detour, finding a softer, more fluid path, is actually the shortest and least painful way to reach your destination. Absolute surrender happens when you trust the flow of your destiny, knowing that every bend in the river holds a deeper meaning. Do not strive to be a rigid stone, destined only to be worn away. Be the water. Because water always finds its way, even through the harshest terrain. Lose yourself for a moment in the labyrinth of skyscrapers and the suffocating pace of Sao Paulo, where a woman stands on the jagged edge of financial ruin. Bills are stacked like mountains, and every breath she takes is tainted by the bitter taste of poverty. In this world of not enough, her mind has become a black hole, sucking dry every drop of hope, broadcasting a frequency of desperation into the vast, uncaring void. But at her absolute breaking point, she began a ritual of profound, mysterious transformation. Every morning, as the first rays of sun pierced the city's heavy fog, she picked up a pen, and she wrote down 3 things that made her heart beat a little faster. She didn't write about money. She didn't write about distant, impossible dreams. Instead, she found gratitude for the crisp air filling her lungs. She found it in her child's innocent smile, a ray of light that cut through the gloom of her reality. Do you see the secret here? The universe is a vast, cosmic mirror, reflecting back the exact frequency you project. If you scream, "I need," reality will only echo back, "I lack." But when this woman began to live in the vibration of gratitude, the magnet in her soul was finally activated. A strange shift began to occur. Old clients returned. New business opportunities emerged from shadows where no one thought to look, as if they were being pulled toward her by an invisible light. You see, gratitude isn't some hollow compliment to fate. It is a sovereign decree sent to the heart of reality saying, "I have recognized the wealth that is already here, and I am ready to receive the greatness that is coming." When you stop staring into the void of what's missing and start cherishing the golden flecks of dust beneath your feet, that is the moment the universe pours its entire treasure into the palm of your hand. Listen to your own heartbeat. In a world that never stops screaming. Did you know that inside the cramped cockpit of a fighter jet, screaming through the sky at supersonic speeds, when the red alerts start flashing and a lethal failure is imminent, the first thing an elite pilot does isn't frantically hit the fire suppression button? They take a deep, steady breath. That breath is not just oxygen. It is a supreme command sent to the nervous system. It forces the brain to instantly abandon its primal panic and enter the realm of absolute clarity, the place where problems are solved. Your breath is your sacred anchor. It is the only thing that keeps your soul from being swept away by the cyclones of reality. When you master your breath, you master your destiny. The modern world is a cacophony of notifications, crushing expectations, and endless anxiety. In all that noise, the voice of your intuition, your wisest, most mysterious guide, is buried under the static. We often fail to manifest because we are too busy screaming at the universe, instead of becoming silent enough to hear the response. Understand this, silence is not an empty void. Silence is a frequency. When you carve out just 5 minutes a day for absolute stillness, you are cutting through the interference. You are tuning your mind to the heartbeat of the universe itself. It is in that terrifying silence where the great solutions you've been chasing finally reveal themselves in radiance. Stop hunting for answers. Create a space quiet and vast enough, and the answer will find its own way home to your heart. Step with me into a silent garden at the first break of dawn, where the jasmine and wild orchids are quietly performing a miracle we so often forget. Look closely, a flower never strains to bloom. It doesn't sweat, worrying if the sun will wake up tomorrow, or if the morning dew will be enough to nourish its fragile petals. It simply exists. It pulses with the great heartbeat of the cosmos, radiating its fragrance with absolute confidence when the moment is right. That flower understands a supreme truth. Abundance is not something you chase, it is a state in which you radiate. Real abundance begins as a whisper deep within your soul. Most of us fail to manifest because we are broadcasting the frequency of lack. We are strangled by the fear of coming up short, the fear of loss, the fear that the universe has somehow forgotten us. But look at nature. Look at how the law of plenty is written into the veins of every single leaf. This universe is not working against you. It is a great mother, a silent architect, weaving every resource together just to support your blossoming. The mystery of this power lies in one thing: the cessation of worry. When you truly believe you are part of this infinite flow, your tension dissolves like morning mist under a burning sun. The moment you let go and smile at the richness of the now, whether it's a single deep breath or a warm, simple meal, you have officially unlocked the gates of manifestation. You are no longer a beggar of fate. You are a co-author with the universe. Live with the heart of a flower. No effort, no doubt, only absolute trust in the care of nature. Because when you are full on the inside, the world outside has no choice but to reflect that wealth back into your reality. Let us close this journey of awakening with a legend that still echoes through the mist-shrouded valleys of the spirit, the legend of Luna. Luna possessed no magic wands, no ancient spells. She simply held the key to an unshakable inner laboratory of the mind. Her grandmother used to whisper, "Thoughts are the seeds, and emotions are the water that breathes life into them." Standing before the parched, cracked earth surrounding her home, Luna did not complain. Every day, beneath a scorching sun, she closed her eyes and lived in a different reality. She inhaled the heady scent of jasmine. She heard the bubbling music of a stream that had been dry for decades. She planted her seeds with the silent poise of a stoic queen, untouched by a single shadow of doubt. When her neighbors mocked her vision, calling it a fool's errand, Luna answered only with the grace of her silence. And then one morning the earth itself shifted. The stream returned, and the garden erupted into a vibrant symphony of color. Luna's secret was as simple as it was profound. Believe that it already belongs to you. Visualize it with your entire heart. Then, step back and let the universe finish the work. Ken Lai wants to leave you with one ultimate truth. Your life is that sacred ground. Our greatest mistake is our own impatience. The frantic act of digging up the seed every single day just to see if it has sprouted. That doubt is the frost that kills the tender bud. Water your dreams with gratitude. Protect them with the steel of your discipline. And then have the courage to sit down, let go, and wait for the harvest. Success does not need your anxiety to grow. It needs your serenity to ripen. If you are ready to stop fighting the wind and start flowing with your destiny, leave a comment below. I choose serenity. And don't forget to subscribe to Modern Invictus Stoic Wisdom to train with me as a silent victor. The universe has heard your order. Now it's time to let it answer.